So that's definitely the right mindset to have. Anything can happen in the playoffs, as we said. So London Lions can't come out complacent. They have to come out and make their mark straight away.
And obviously Lions closed the regular season out with 2 wins last week. It was a struggle in Durham, but Ty Battle, someone that stepped up down the stretch.
Yeah, I like Ty a lot. Again, it's kind of the battle of the secondary bigs today, which I'm quite enjoying.
You're good with starting fives next?
In rebounds for the London Lions, and previously against this Newcastle team she had 10 points, 9 rebounds, so right there on the double-double. I'm really excited to see, especially with Kiki out at the WNBA, which we'll get into. I'm excited to see how Ty Battle steps up.
Indeed, obviously Lions last week having a bit of an adjustment period without their leading scorer in the league, who started that WNBA training camp with the Connecticut Suns. But we will now have a look at the starting lineups for this game, as the Lions Ty Battle into the starting lineup, and she'll join Azania Stewart, Holly Winterburn, Katerina Cincina and Taylor Murray.
What an amazing 5 to start with, and then to know what you have on the bench too. But I mean, Holly Winterburn, the most decorated WBBL player in history at her age, is incredible. They're putting everything in her hands, and again with Kiki out, she's going to have to create even more for this team.
And as for the Eagles, pretty much what is their standard starting 5? So Maggie Justinak, Marina Fernando Pardo, Rachel Bland, Katie Nolan and Antoinette Lewis. And Kylie, you mentioned it, when the teams first met this season, it was Nolan and Lewis that did the damage on the interior, but also on the rebounding battle. And for an Eagles offense that sometimes struggles for scoring, those second chance points are going to be vital.
Yeah, and the Eagles are actually second in offensive rebounding in the WBBL. And this game is going to be all about possessions. How can they create more? If they can create it on the offensive rebound, it will give them a lot more confidence. Again, they're third in steals, creating more possession for them by being aggressive defensively to get more offensive shots.
And obviously the 2 matchups in the regular season, London Lions convincing in both, a 43-123 win up in Newcastle in early January, and then just under a month ago at the Copper Box it was Lions 88, Newcastle was 36. So really the number that jumps out is the Eagles' lack of offense that they're going to need to fix to try and have a way to win.
Yeah, that jumps out, but to me actually their improvement on defense jumps out. They've limited London Lions to a lot less points, so how can you be more efficient on offense to make that score a little closer this time?
For sure, and obviously neither team worried about a scoring margin. It's win or go home in the WBBL playoffs. Already had wins for the Caledonia Gladiators, Sevenoaks Suns and the Leicester Riders this weekend. So our final quarter-final is about to get ready. Stewart and Lewis up for the tip, and Newcastle Eagles will get this WBBL quarter-final underway. Justinak, wing 3, straight away aggressive. Nolan on the glass, gets fouled by Ty Battle.
Hey, Nolan's starting straight away, but I love the way the Eagles started this game. They're not afraid of the Lions, which showed with that quick shot and the great rebound by Nolan, who can get a rhythm by getting to the free throw line early.
Yeah, Katie Nolan in her first season out of Seton Hall in Division 2 in the NCAA. 5.5 free throw attempts a game, so a place with the physical presence inside that she can just get those points chipping away, and Nolan makes the first.
Yeah, this is exactly how Newcastle would want to start the game.
Taylor Murray will get the Lions' first possession. Eagles immediately jumping into a 2-3 zone. Something we saw in the Copper Box. Cincina, wide open corner 3, and that's someone who you want to keep away off the 3-point line.
If you're in a zone, you have to be screaming at where Cincina is. I mean, she's the 5th FIBA Euro Cup all-time highest scorer. She knows how to score the ball. You have to know where she is in that zone.
Indeed, and we'll see if Eagles retain that after they throw the ball away sloppily out of bounds. Katerina Cincina, 12 points a game for the Lions, but 43% from downtown, shooting just over 5 3-point attempts a game.
What a joy to have her on your team.
Cincina knocks it down, and once again, corner 3, and we're up to 6 points for the Eagles, all for their second leading scorer. Now Kiki Herbert-Harrigan is away in WNBA training campus. Marina Fernandez comes off the screen. Great defense by Winterburn to fight over, not give a corner. Down screen for Justinak, 10 on the clock. And a foul inside on Battle. If it is, that'll be her second.
No, I like the approach by Newcastle. They're trying to get the ball inside, which they need to do. I think previously in the last game, they shot a lot of perimeter threes. So they just have to be careful that is a foul and Ty Battle doesn't get that steal next time.
Yeah, and Ty Battle immediately to the bench, just 62 seconds into the game. In for the Lions wearing 11, Shaquila Joseph, in shoes you definitely won't miss. Shaquila's had a big role, but another Eagles turnover. But this is the depth of this Lions team. Early foul trouble, not really an issue, that they can just bring more and more talent off the bench.
That's exactly it. It's a next woman up mentality, and they're great at that. Everyone's coming in to play their role and play hard.
Ball screen by Stuart Winterburn. Opposite corner this time. Taylor Murray with the three, little bit short. And a long rebound to Fernandez. Eagles going to look to push ahead. Antoinette Lewis ahead of the pack. Spin move, left hand up and good. And good by the Eagles pushing in transition.
Absolutely. The Lions are amazing in half-court defense. So if you can push the ball on them and out of position in transition, it's the best way to score quickly.
Murray to Stewart in the high post. Up and over Nolan and banks it in. And Azania Stewart is someone on this roster that just knows where to find space in a zone and exploit.
I mean, Azania's been here at all different levels, so she knows exactly how to score and what her team needs.
And again, pressure by the Lions guards, not making life easy. Fernandez looking for Justinak in the post, but instead reverse. Nolan now going to try and drive on Stewart. Stop, stripped by Cincina. And Shaquila Joseph will pick up the ball before it trickles out of bounds. And Taylor Murray trying to again get Lions going in transition as Holly Winterburn blocking foul on Nolan. Referee's going to call 2 shots.
Just a great job by London Lions, pushing the ball early and getting a baseline drive, and good things happen, especially when there's Holly Winterburn with the ball. Nice little jab step to the right, baseline to a left drive, and just got bumped and out of bounds.
Bump out of bounds, but an important thing, despite being kind of under the basket, she picked the ball up, was going to have steps and try and score. That's why she's rewarded with a trip to the line. Winterburn, 83% free throw shooter, obviously former Leicester Rider, and as well had that year with the Oregon Ducks in the NCAA. And Fernandez now playing point guard once again for the Eagles. Eagles electing to go away from Murray and Vorpal in the full court. So a slight adjustment we've already seen from previous games as Justinak off the screen, but Taylor Murray does a terrific job fighting over again. Nolan puts the ball on the deck, but Murray with those quick hands going to look to push. Winterburn trail 3, strings it.
Such an unselfish play by Murray right there, pushing the ball and finding Holly Winterburn on the wing. Skipped it over. What a great pass and great finish. Again,
Lions being so physical, fighting over these screens, making it difficult. Good entry pass to Nolan, but Shaquila Joseph able to get round and deflect it away.
The Lions' one-on-one defense is incredible. They're pushing these Eagles outside the paint, forcing them to pass it around the perimeter, and doing a great job protecting inside.
And the first couple of subs for the Eagles, Chloe Gaynor in wearing 3, and Courtney Klassen. Eagles fans most used to seeing her in 33, but a little problem with the kit, so Courtney Klassen in 17 today. As Bland going to fire up the 3 off to the right. And again, it's that pressure from the Lions defence that's forcing Eagles into shots they're not comfortable with.
That's exactly it, and taking bad shots usually lead to bad defensive transition, which is really important for Eagles. So they have to be able to get something good on offense so they can transition better.
Yeah, lucky ball trickling out of bounds, so able to set up in the half court, but Winterburn looking for Cincina on the cut, and just a little mismatch in communication. You can see the two of them talking it over, and now Eagles against the pressure going to throw it long, but Chloe Gaynor just drops it and the ball will trickle out of bounds. And right now it's Eagles are making the mistakes, and that's what you can't afford to do on the road in a playoff game,
especially against a London Lions team. You have to, if Lions force you into things sometimes, then that's okay, but you can't have silly turnovers like that in a game as big as this.
Stewart on the elbow, going to think about it and decides to take it, but a little bit too long. And now Eagles out in to their half-court offense. Fernandez crosses over, finds Nolan. Nolan's going to try and back down, finds Klassen. Wing 3 is off to the left. And again, another stop for the Lions. Cincina to Winterburn. Eagles still in a zone. This time a little more 3-2 look as Joseph turn around, doesn't quite go. And Chloe Gaynor able to pull it down.
That's exactly what London Lions will want in that possession, though, getting it into the middle for a layup.
Cincina kicks the ball away, and it'll allow a lot of substitutions. Chantel Charles checking in for the Lions, and for the Eagles, Lewis and Justinak back in the game, and also for the first time wearing 9, Abby Lowe. And Abby Lowe, someone that started the season abroad but came back, but another British talent that we've seen in 3-on-3 that can really impact a game.
Abby Lowe's great, and she's shown at this level in the WBBL previously with the Eagles and Durham that she can play at this level, and especially in the playoffs, she kind of has a fire inside of her. So I'm excited to see what she does in this game.
Lewis, deep position, resets low with the long 3. Just got the foot behind the line, but a little bit short, and Chantel Charles kicks ahead. Skip pass to Murray, and now Lions will reset again, trying to look for that high post catch. It's Joseph, 15-footer in and out, but Chantel Charles, weak side, put back, and all of a sudden the London Lions double-digit lead, and Newcastle Eagles just need to find a couple of buckets to try and stay in contention. Klassen looking back doors, going to feed the post. Gaynor on Cincina, but knocked away by Cincina, so Eagles will have to reset. 7 on the clock. Gaynor keeps the handoff, stops and pops from the foul line, and again just another contested shot for the Eagles. And now Taylor Murray looks to get her head down, well guarded by Abby Lowe. And now Eagles once again trying to find a way to make life difficult. Murray, give and go, going to stop and pop from 15 foot, little bit too long, going to fight for the rebound, but pulled down by Eagles, who have done a good job early on the glass, but Lions get the trap. Justinak tries to throw it off Winterburn, throws it into the half court, and now Eagles able to come away with Chloe Gaynor, going to look to stay on the baseline, just about stays in bounds. And now guarded by Shaquilla Joseph, and she will be called for the push. But right now it's the ball pressure from the Lions that's really disrupting this Eagles offense.
It is. They're struggling offensively a little bit, getting into what they want to do with the pressure. But I think defensively, the Eagles have to be happy with the last 2 possessions where they're forcing mid-range contested jump shots. They just have to make sure they clean up the boards and they can push more in transition to get easier looks on offense.
As Leslie Vorpal into the game for the Lions, replacing Taylor Murray. Vorpal arrived in January, and one of her first games was ironically in against the Eagles, where her and Taylor Murray had a terrific night up in the northeast. As Klassen to Justinak, shot clock down to 6 once again. Justinak with the pull up, can't get to go, but Nolan trying to corral the offensive rebound, but Chantel Charles able to come down with it, but unfortunately out of bounds, so Eagles ball from the end line.
Yeah, Nolan's presence under the basket forced that for them to have an extra possession, so they can hopefully get something going on offense.
Abby Lowe trying to be aggressive, and Chantel Charles will be called for the blocking foul. 4th team foul on the Lions, so any more and it'll be free throws for the final 4 minutes 14 of this opening quarter. And right now, if you're Eagles, you need to stay aggressive, because if you can't get jump shots going, the best thing to do is try and get to the foul line.
Yeah, that's a great sign for the Eagles right now, with the Lions being on 14 fouls. And the thing is, they may not reap the rewards right now, but in the long term, putting them in foul trouble is going to be good for them.
Lewis again trying to get down in the post, this time able to kiss it off the glass for her 2nd bucket of the game, and a long scoreless drought for the Eagles has been ended, but they need stops, and Cincina from 3 isn't what you need, but this time off, and a great box out by a combination of Nolan and Lewis leaves Joseph on the floor, so Lewis can go down the floor in transition, and Cincina with quick hands yet again to knock it out of bounds.
But I like the way Eagles are playing right now. They're trying to push it. They might be forcing passes a little bit, but you have to do that against a strong Lions team, especially in transition.
As Azania Stewart will check back in for Cincina. Obviously, Lions not wanting to risk tie battle on those 2 fouls she picked up in the opening minute. So a little bit different lineup. Abby Lowe straight away 3 off. Lewis fights for the rebound. He's going to reset. Justinak, who's a good 3-point shooter, gets a good look, but again, just a little bit short. And now Holly Winterburn down this right-hand side. Winterburn looking for options. It's going to be Stewart on the ball screen, and Abby Lowe trying to fight over and will draw the offensive foul on Azania Stewart, just sliding ever so slightly to her right, and it's something Azania Stewart not agreeing with.
Yeah, she's definitely asking the question, like, what did I do? We'll see right now if the film lies. She moved her right hip a little bit, wasn't super stationary. I think Abby Lowe did a good job kind of selling that too.
Yeah, but also the big difference in the last couple of years is that freedom of movement on the defensive end. As a defender, you have the right to be able to fight for some space. It's something we've seen tightened up with all year long, as Justinak nearly mishandles, but is able to find Klassen. Eagles again looking for post up, but Chloe again is going to pop out, find the ball screen, and a poor decision by Justinak trying to find the rolling gainer, but 3 Lions out on the help side, so an easy steal as Joseph goes baseline, looks to reverse layup, draws the contact, gets it to go. Strong move by Shaquila Joseph.
What's so exciting about this Lions team is you can't relax on anyone. Everyone's a threat off the dribble and off the pass, and Shaquila Joseph did a great job getting to the baseline and finishing on the other side with the M1.
As good recognition by the Eagles players. Coach Noelia Cachero wanted to call the players over to talk something over to save using a timeout, but Eagles players recognise it was only 1 shot, so if none of you lined up, that'd be the easiest 2 points of the season. But Shaquila Joseph makes no mistake at the stripe. Another great free throw shooter for the line. She shoots it at 86% as Justinak trying to get downhill, going to stop, pop and string. And again, Eagles trying to be aggressive early in the shot clock.
Yeah, Justinak knows she has to be aggressive if they want to be successful in this game, and she's proven that she's not afraid to shoot it. And seeing that one go in will definitely help her confidence even more.
Justinak with NCAA tournament experience. MSU Denver last year made the NCAA first round. Unfortunately bowed out in overtime as Lions down short on the clock. Beckford Norton long to front iron, but Chantel Charles able to reset. Vorpal strings it, and all of a sudden this lead is just starting to grow, and it's the first time that Eagles haven't done a good job on the glass and been punished for it.
That's the thing, that they force another contested jump shot, but they weren't able to clean up on the glass, and that's where the Lions are really going to punish them.
As again, Lions, Eagles off the ball screen. Justinak again trying to stop and pop, but this time can't get it to go. And Shanice Beckford Norton, apologies, to Vorpal, right wing, off to the right. But Beckford Norton flying in from the weak side, able to recycle. And Eagles again looking to find stops. Charles to Joseph. Good ball movement by the Lions. Beckford Norton up and short. But another offensive rebound. Doesn't go. But Shaquila Joseph, a 4th time, keeps it alive, but eventually loses the handle. And Abby Lowe trying to be aggressive. Can't get it to pay. And a great pass by Vorpal to Charles. And she'll lay it home with the left hand. Timeout, Newcastle Eagles.
Great activity by Shanice Beckford Norton to run back and tap that ball from behind of Abby Lowe, and just the Lions are incredible on the open floor, and that just proves how fast they get it down and they can score with efficiency.
Yeah, and it's the turnovers once again for the Eagles. That's their 7th turnover of the contest, and that's been punished for 10 points already.
Yeah, that's tough for the Eagles. If they're going to turn it over, it needs to be on a dead ball where they can go back to their half and set up defensively. Way too many live ball turnovers, giving the London Lions too much open floor to play in.
Yeah, and if you're Newcastle in this timeout, you're going to be stressing pushing the ball in transition, but get the ball in the post and crash the offensive glass, because that's where their success has been early on.
That's exactly it. And the Lions are missing Kiki. Again, we've spoken about it. She's at the WNBA training camp right now at Connecticut Suns, but she's an inside presence on the boards, block shots. Without her, the Eagles need to be able to get it inside and really punish the Lions. Although they do have a few extra bigs coming up behind them too. But
yeah, and the key with that is, as you saw on the graphic there, the Eagles yet to connect from downtown as well. So 0 of 6 to start the game, and on the road when you're trying to pull off an upset, you've got to shoot the ball well. And we saw that with Essex yesterday. They shot it really well with unusual players making consistent threes, and that's what dragged them into that game against Leicester, where they narrowly lost out in overtime. So a minute and a half to go of this opening quarter. London Lions 23, Newcastle Eagles 8. Lions again with pressure. Fernandez picks it up in the backcourt, but Abby Lowe will get it over the timeline. Fernandez. Post entry to Gaynor, going to spin on Cincina, go up and under. Doesn't quite get the roll, but another good look for the Eagles attacking the interior. And Vorpal recycling the ball. Cincina. Vorpal thinks about the three, but backs out. Instead, they're going to wait for Zania Stewart to screen for Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton off the ball screen, spin. Beautiful pass to Charles. 3 up and short. And again, Leslie Vorpal crashing the glass, trying to find an offensive rebound, but couldn't quite get her hands on it.
I love that Lions possession right there. Even though they didn't make the shot, they're moving the ball, they're so composed, and they're trying to play the right way and execute their plays.
Fernandez again can't connect from downtown. Lions will have opportunities for a 2-for-1 if they're quick. Beckford Norton instead going to attack baseline and draw the blocking foul on Abby Lowe. First person on Lowe, 3rd team foul.
Yeah, the Newcastle Eagles have to be a little bit careful here. They're kind of not like the Lions. They don't have as much depth on their bench, so they need their star players to stay out there. So Abilo needs to be careful after that first foul.
And into the game for the Lions for the first time, wearing 22, Paige Robinson. She'll give Azania Stewart a breather. Charles off the pin down screen, going to get into the lane, stripped by Abby Lowe. Lions bench thought it was illegal, but referee's happy with the defence, and now Newcastle Eagles will be able to hold for the final shot of the quarter. But Lowe will be given a lane to the hoop and lays it home off the glass, but doesn't quite get the drop. So a long outlet pass, Beckford Norton, 5 on the game clock. Vorpal, Cincina to beat the buzzer, gets it to go. Katerina Cincina, her third triple of the quarter, and the Newcastle Eagles come out hard, and they lead the London Lions lead the Newcastle Eagles 26-8 after the opening quarter.
I mean, you can't write it up any better than that shot right there, and from one of the best three-point shooters in the league. So what a great finish for the Lions. Newcastle need to kind of come back and see where they can improve in the second quarter.
Yeah, and for Lions, that's their 5th three-pointer of the opening half.
And that's the thing with the Newcastle Eagles. They have to be okay with giving something up, but they can't give everything up to the Lions. They have to make a decision on what they're okay with. The other parts, they have to kind of dig deep and stop it. I think the Lions have been given every kind of opportunity right now.
And it's those offensive rebounds that when Newcastle got some stops, then the Lions found ways to crash the glass and keep themselves alive after Eagles have really started that opening quarter well.
That's it. The Lions have done a great job, especially with the Eagles in the zone. They've been shooting quite a few three-pointers, but they're all crashing the boards for second chance points.
Indeed, as you see the crowd here at the Crystal Palace, a good amount of fans have stayed after the London Lions men's team advanced to the BBL semi-final. They'll play the Cheshire Phoenix in the playoffs. That tie likely to start on Friday night. As for the Lions, if they win here, they will advance and play the Sevenoaks Suns in a derby game next Sunday here at Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. But there's still 30 minutes of action to go before we go that out, as the teams onto the floor. Lions with Charles, Vorpal, Beckford Norton, Cincina and Robinson. And the Eagles, Justinak, Fernandez, Lewis, Nolan and Bland. As Eagles look like they switched to a man-to-man to start this second quarter. Vorpal off the dribble, finds Cincina. Lewis gets it off the three-point line, but she'll dish to Robinson, who tries to bank it home, but Lewis with a big, strong rebound, and she'll lead the break herself. Lewis stops on the edge of the key, and she'll find Marina Fernandez. Lewis was open on the pop, but Fernandez just dribbling the wrong way, couldn't quite find the passing lane. And again, shot clock running low. Bland tries to feed it inside off the leg of a Lions player, but legally so. So Beckford Norton, coast-to-coast layup, draws the contact. And that'll be 2 free throws for Shanice Beckford Norton.
That's what she does best, right? One of the quickest, if not the quickest guard in this league. The ability to push the ball and force something down the paint and get that foul.
Indeed, as Rachel Bland came up a little bit hobbling, so she'll jog off to the bench. Just saying she's okay, but she'll probably head to the end of the Eagles bench and just get checked over by the physio team, as Maggie Justinak and Zoe Willis will check in. Willis for the first time today, former Barking Abbey player, so knows the streets of London quite well, having graduated from American International D2 last year in the NCAA. And Eagles immediately trying to push with Willis. She'll find Nolan in the paint, try and force it round Paige Robinson, but no good, as Beckford Norton looks to push, went behind the back, but Justinak able to have the strip, and Nolan, who hit the deck, got a easy let, waits for Robinson, and that's just a mistaken anticipation of expecting your shot to be blocked rather than just going up and finishing with confidence.
Yeah, Nolan overthought that shot a little bit. I think she had time and space to shoot it straight away.
Again, Eagles jumped back into the zone. Willis able to tip the ball out of bounds as it tried to find Vorpal. And a tricky spot to inbound for the Lions with 9 seconds on the shot clock, right in Coffin's corner. And it'll be Vorpal to trigger. Cincina stop and pop off the back iron. And Robinson able to get just enough of a hand on it, took it away from Fernandez, and it allows Lions to have yet another offensive rebound. As Robinson, big flare screen, opens up Cincina, but she drops the ball, and the ball will head out of bounds.
I'd like to see the Eagles a little less tentative on both ends of the floor. There was a loose ball, and Fernandez didn't look confident being able to go grab that. So on both ends of the floor, I think they need to be more aggressive and just trust their abilities right now. They need possession, they need the ball as much as possible.
And the thing is, in these games, you've got nothing to lose, because it doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or 50. It's the same thing. Your season's over, and there'll be no basketball till September. A couple of changes for the Lions after that possession, as Stewart and Winterburn back into the ball game. And Vorpal again. Immense pressure. Justnak draws a little bit of contact, and she'll head to the line for 2.
I love the way Justnak's come out and started this half of basketball. She's been aggressive, looked to shoot threes, mid-range, and now gone for a layup, and now she's reaping her rewards on the free throw line.
Yeah, Maggie Justnak in her first season as a pro. Last year, 6 points a game, but the step up to pro, 12 points a game, 3.5 assists, 1.5 steals. And she's also been a big addition for the Eagles from the three-point line. Their leading three-point shooter on the season. And she's able to make both at the charity stripe. And Eagles finally into double digits. And they'll come out with a little 2-2-1 half-court press. Stewart looking for Winterburn, but passed a little bit too short. But immediately Eagles throw it away, and Zoe Willis with the transition take foul on Vorpal for the hand check.
Yeah, and you saw Lewis kind of being like, that's my bad there. After a great steal, turning the ball back over. But that's how the Eagles have to play, more aggressively, and they'll get some success from it. They just have to take care of the ball afterwards. Yeah,
it's the 9th turnover for the Eagles, as Winterburn looks for the screen, going to find Vorpal. Lies patiently, just waiting for the Eagles defense to shift enough. Beckford Norton's going to line up the corner three, doesn't go, but Winterburn able to just catch it on the weak side of the glass, and those air balls, the coach always say box out, but it's sometimes just impossible to read.
Yeah, they're hard to read when the shot goes down like that, but at the same time, Newcastle have to at least be there to contest that that layup by Winterburn.
And Fernandez able to get her first field goal of the afternoon from the foul line. And now Eagles just trying to string together a little bit of momentum. Another stop here to score down the other end, and they'll start to believe they can chip away at this 18-point lead. Stewart, high post, off to the left, but Paige Robinson, terrific job to reset. And Vorpal able to chase it down before the backcourt. And she'll drive, kick to Winterburn, 6 on the shot clock. Stewart with the ball screen, in and out dribble. Vorpal to Stewart, but the Eagles defense able to suffocate, and Lions running out of time, and that's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, they're quite static in that offense, and they have to keep resetting their offense from the halfway line from a few fumbles. So that's a tough offensive possession by the Lions, but huge confidence booster for the Eagles after forcing 24-second shot clock.
And Zoe Willis will find Fernandez. Lions again being super physical, trying to chase over screens and make it difficult for the Newcastle ball handlers. Willis to Gaynor in the post. Straight into the hands of Winterburn, and now Shanice Beckford Norton streaking down the left, but Winterburn Euro step and will get the contact instead, and will head to the line. And Holly Winterburn here again, you can see 3-on-1 fast break, but knew Willis was moving, and Zoe Willis just trying to stop and just make it difficult on any pass.
What a great ability to avoid that defender and Willis right there by Winterburn.
Yeah, and that's the advancement of Holly Winterburn's game, Kyla. Since she went to the States, she's just every year just adding more and more to the game.
Exactly, yeah. She's a 3-level scorer at this point in the Euro Cup and the WBBL. She's done a great job just improving her game, being able to finish in all kinds of ways, and it was just an example right there.
Yeah, and that growth we're talking about, Holly Winterburn, an extra 3 points a game compared to last season with the Lions. An extra 2 assists a game, same amount of steals, shooting it 8% better from the floor. And that's that growth that takes you from a good player into a star player.
And that proves what kind of work Holly wants to do and what kind of player she wants to be, right? Just improvements every year is all you can ask for.
And makes the foul shots. And this lead back up to 19 points. That was a third personal foul on Maggie Justanak, I think. We'll double check with the scoreboard later. As Zoe Willis finds Justanak, but again, just sloppy mistakes by the Eagles, just throwing it too high. Moser, basically a free pass.
Yeah, it's so disheartening. You do all of that work and you're trying to execute offensively and you can't execute a little pass to the wing. They have to be able to limit their turnovers and get shots up. They need shots up to be in this game.
As Ty Bataloo did check back in, drives straight down the middle and lays it home, and that's the impact Kyla was talking about in the pre-game. Ty Battle in the last couple of weeks has really stepped up for this Lions roster. With Kiki Herbert-Harrigan out, she's going to have a huge role in the WBBL playoffs. As Fernandez from the left wing finally gets one to go at the 8th time of asking. Eagles able to connect from downtown, and it's their captain who is able to convert. Winterburn on this right wing as she feels like it's been all game. Beckford Norton on the backdoor cut finds Stewart. 12-footer is good. And Azania Stewart, if there's one thing she'll tell you about her own game, is that mid-range jumper.
That's exactly it. She's done a great job throughout her career to be able to hit that 15-footer. But she deserved to hit that shot after the ball movement by the Lions. Great pass by Winterburn and a great find by Shanice Beckford Norton.
Justanak looking for post-up, but Battle fronting to take away the post catch for Lewis. 3 on the shot clock. Gaynor trying to slip back door. Going to have to fire it up over the wingspan of Azania Stewart, and too strong. And Taylor Murray again orchestrating this Lions offense. They've got 2-on-1 on this near side. Winterburn, Euro step left, draws the contact. And again, the ability for Holly Winterburn to read the defense and find ways to get to the foul line. And that is the first personal on Antoinette Lewis, 4th team foul.
And if you watch Holly's ability to Euro step, it's successful because of that. First of all, how hard she drives to the basket. But that first step, you really think she's going in one direction. You have to respect it. Because if you don't jump, she will continue that way. She's done a great job with that first step and to be able to get around the defender on the second.
And she's also got that counter that we've seen time and time again this season of getting stopped in the paint, the pump fake, and then the up and under finish. So the versatility of the moves makes it a real nightmare to guard.
Yeah, she's got a lot in her bag, as they say. So she's really hard to guard. You don't know what she's going to do.
As more free throws for the Lions, and Abby Lowe just able to not control the ball, and the ball will trickle out of bounds once again. And right now, if the Eagles, you just need to find 2 or 3 possessions in a row to string together some momentum.
That's it. It starts with a stop right here.
See if they can get it. Eagles are playing man-to-man this time as Stewart and Lowe fighting on the screen. We'll see what the call is. It looks like probably Abby Lowe for the bump, as she was just trying to fight over that screen. And Zania Stewart, see, this time she was not moving an inch.
Zania made sure she was absolutely still on that screen. And Abby Lowe just did a little bit too much with her hips trying to get over it. But I like that competitive nature. I like that fight.
As more free throws, is free throws 7 and 8 on the night for Holly Winterburn. In the league season this year, only shooting 2 a game, which feels somewhat surprising, but it's that all triple threat of being able to shoot the 3, that mid-range and the layup that means her shots are so well balanced. As Abby Lowe looking to bring the ball up, but Winterburn gets a hand on it, but Zoe Willis somehow able to come up with it. She'll find Lewis, who's been quiet in the second quarter, but she'll get up and under. Ty Battle blows the layup, and now a terrific outlet pass, Encina to Murray, and she blows the layup. And Justanak now able to come away, and looks still more like a 100-meter track race at the moment.
It's definitely going up and down pretty fast, and that it might have something to do with it being in Crystal Palace. Neither teams have played here for a long time, especially Newcastle, so being able to finish on these rims might take a little while.
Well, it's that, and we've got an athletics track 50 metres to our left.
There you go.
Second team foul on the Lions, first on Holly Winterburn, so it'll be Eagles possession from the sideline. Willis looking for that screen, and Lewis and Willis just getting in each other's way. Zoe Willis made a read. She gets bumped, but she finds a cutting Maggie Justanak, and that's what you need if you're Newcastle Eagles, is attempts in the paint and easy layups.
What a great cut by Justanak right there. Hiding behind the defense. Great pass by Willis was that. And that's exactly how Newcastle Eagles need to play.
Yeah, and timeout called by the London Lions, the coaching staff talking it over, but this is it now. It's one possession isn't good enough. We've got a couple of stops, we've got one score. It's can you just slowly build on that to make a run, and then you need someone like Antoinette Lewis, Katie Nolan to jump into that scoring figure, because right now 6 points from Justanak just isn't going to be enough.
Exactly. The Eagles have some star players on their team that need to get going, and they're getting some good looks. They just can't kind of knock it down right now.
And there you see it again. We've talked about it all day long. It's those turnovers for the Newcastle Eagles. 11 turnovers. Lions got 12 points. But the frustrating thing is, if you're Newcastle, this is a London team that do not turn over the ball much. They're the league's best at 12.5 turnovers a game. They lead the league by 2.5 turnovers. But they've got 7 today, but Eagles with 0 points off them.
That's the thing right there, is they're not capitalising off of these turnovers that they're forcing the Lions to make. Once they're able to do that, they'll be able to cut this margin down.
Indeed, as the Newcastle Eagles, the first to break the huddle. And if you're London Lions, obviously they're trying to fix something in this timeout. What do you think, Carla, with your coaching brain on, that they'll be talking about in the huddle?
Good question. I think the Lions are just focused on continuing to execute offensively in the right way. I feel like defenses are non-negotiable for this team. So they all know kind of their expectation of the defensive end. So how can they now come out and execute an offense? Probably Coach Steller just drew out at a high level.
We'll see. And Eagles trying to be fair, mixing up their defense a little bit, just trying to keep London Lions out of perfect rhythm. And we'll see what was on the board. It's a Winterburn post-up, and that's responded with an Abby Lowe foul and 2 free throws once again.
Isn't it great to see kind of the matchup between Holly Winterburn and Abby Lowe? 2 younger British guards, wings, that are doing great things in the WBBL. Holly just kind of hits Abby Lowe to the post on that one.
Yeah, more free throws, and that is Abby Lowe's third personal, so she'll take a breather. But Kyle, obviously, you spent a lot of time in the States the last 5-6 years, but I know you've been keeping an eye on the WBBL and the growth. And how important is it to see these British players just keep coming through the pipeline?
No, I love it. Obviously, I was a part of the WBBL about 5-6 years ago, and it was an incredible experience. That kind of got me prepared for basketball in America, but the growth of this league is incredible. The level and quality that these players are playing on, and to have a crowd see them and appreciate women's basketball in this country is really cool.
Holly Winterburn with the reach-in, so that'll be her second personal foul. Third team foul on the Lions. Winterburn, the league's leading scorer at 12 points a game. But she's only done that on 2 field goals. It's at the line where the damage has been done. And we'll see if Eagles can execute once again from the sideline. A little bit of a late action getting going, but Newcastle able to get the ball in safely. Lewis in the post, going to face up Azania Stewart, try and put the ball on the deck. No travel call. Klassen from downtown strings it. And again, it's that inside-outside game for the Eagles that's starting to provide some rewards.
A little bit more patience by the Eagles there, and Lewis, even with the fumble, she wasn't rushing to get the ball out of her hands and found a great shooter.
But Ty Battle straight down the other end, got a nice matchup with Rachel Bland and able to take advantage as Cincina blocks the 3 by Willis. And Winterburn looking to push. Battle cutting into the paint. Great catch. Left-handed layup is good, Ty Battle.
Yeah, that's why she was my player to watch today. She has that ability with great hands to finish over any defender.
As Justanak forced to pick the ball up right across the front court line. And Rachel Bland, one of the veterans of the league, finds Klassen, same spot off the back iron this time, but Zoe Willis able to crash the rebound, get Winterburn in the air with the up and under, but can't quite get the layup to go. But Eagles will get a third opportunity. Skip pass to Willis, pull up is off the iron, and now Eagles is starting to finally create some good looks, but just can't knock them down.
Yeah, they're starting to look much more confident on the offensive end. They just need to finish their plays.
Battle with an offensive rebound as Winterburn can't connect from behind the arc. She'll come off the ball screen, lay it home with the right hand. Holly Winterburn is taking over this WBBL quarter-final She's up to 14 points personal, the only player in the game in double digits. And the London Lions lead is 25 as we're in the final 2 minutes of the half. Backdoor cut, Courtney Klassen again can't quite get the layup to go. And head coach Noelia Cachero calling for a timeout, but that will have to wait as Winterburn finds Battle underneath. And Ty Battle will earn a trip to line as Justinak swiped down on the arm.
And that's the difference kind of right now between the Lions and the Eagles. The Lions are going up regardless of contact, just as you see right here by Ty Battle. Regardless of contact or who's around them, they're going up strong into score. And worst case, they'll get fouled and get free throws. The Eagles look so tentative when they're going up for their layups, worried about the shot blockers rather than just focusing on finishing from close within.
But talk about that and put that in a player's perspective. When you know you're going up against a team with size and length, that how that can actually play mind games.
Oh, absolutely it does. Knowing you've got so much length in Ty Battle, in Azania Stewart, in Paige Robinson, in Shaquilla Joseph, the list goes on in length for the Lions, even without a Kiki Harrigan. You're going to be worried about who's around you at the rim. But like we said it before, there's nothing to lose right now for Newcastle Eagles. They just have to go up strong and be hunting for and one shots. That's what they should be wanting right now.
Yeah, London Lions, the best shot blocking team in the league at 4 blocks a game. And right now it's that 25% field goal that we kind of saw in the regular season in the matchup between the two. Eagles will be happy with the looks they're getting today. It's definitely an increase from those 2 league games, but it's that conversion that is so important.
The Eagles have to play an incredible game to keep this game against the Lions close, and to have that, you have to be able to make shots at a high level. And 25% from the field just won't cut it right now.
Yeah, and the referees and the table just going over to confirm whose timeout it was. Indeed, it was Eagles. So London Lions still have a timeout to use if they want in the final 93 seconds of the half. Ty Battle at the line, strings the first. Ty Battle, her first pro season out of the University of Delaware. 11 points, 5.5 rebounds a game, mostly coming off the bench. If there was a 6th Woman of the Year award in the WBL, Battle would certainly be in contention for that. Shooting it at 57% from the floor.
Extremely efficient.
As Battle with the strip goes into the hands of Chantel Charles. So Lions with a chance to extend this 27-point lead. Murray to Joseph's going to try and back down Bland. Finds Cincina off to the right, but Battle again on the weak side. Able to corral an offensive board. And Cincina will just miss, but Joseph, another offensive rebound. She blows the layup, and the game just a little bit scrappy as we close in on the half-time break. Gainer to Nolan, who got ahead of Cincina. She'll find Fernandez, left wing 3 off, and Taylor Murray with a huge rebound, able to keep the ball alive, dribbling it somehow not on the line. And now Lions in transition. Joseph for 2. And again, that Lions are just so ruthless in transition. It feels like every time they have an option, they know what the pass is.
Exactly that. And if Eagles are going to trap, they can't allow Murray to come through.
Yeah, and another stop for the Eagles. Cincina, there's about a 3-second shot clock, game clock differential. Eagles, no fouls to give in this spot, so I have to play it out without fouling as Charles, 5 on the shot clock, finds Cincina straight away 3, back iron. Battle, huge rebound over Bland, banks it in with the foul. Ty Battle, what an impact she is having.
She's doing everything out there, and her ability to finish with the fouls too is great. Her hands, that nice little light touch hitting the back of the glass and right in.
Ty Battle up to 10 points despite having 2 fouls after 62 seconds and sitting on the bench for an extended period. And she will make the free throw. So 3 seconds left. Eagles have a chance to try and get a shot off. It's with Fernandez. She will try and find a bounce pass off the foot of Chantel Charles, but time will expire. And at half-time, it is the London Lions 52, Newcastle Eagles 20. And if your Lions, Coach Stella said going in, this is a final, and they've definitely treated it like that so far.
Extremely professional by both teams, but the Lions have come out trying to execute, understanding that there's more, hopefully, to their playoff run. So it's just building steps and building foundations in this playoff run, and that's what they're trying to do in this first half. And I mean, 51 points, it's not a bad way to start.
Yeah, and it's the consistency for London. 26 points in the first, 26 in the second. You saw there, Ty Battle getting into double digits. Obviously, Katharina Cincina, strong start with those 3 threes in the opening quarter. And then Holly Winterburn, who's basically just built a tent up the charity stripe. As for the Eagles, it's Justin Ack leading with 6 points personal. And we will head into the halftime break here at the National Sports Centre in Crystal Palace. Halftime score, London Lions 52, Newcastle Eagles 20.
You could just blend in. Never take a single risk. Let opportunities pass you by. Or you can show up. Show people what makes you powerful, what brings you peace. Let them really see you. Own it.
Murphy again. Good hands by Battle, and they're off. Here comes Murray. They got numbers, and left-hand finish in the foul as Murphy tries to stop the marauding London Lions play.
Winterburn looking for the lob, double teamed between Bush and Watkins. Battle collects it, gets the contact, and gets it to go. Really tough finish by Ty Battle. Fading away to her right, and she'll have a chance for the 3-point play.
Off the glass, no good, just couldn't get the lift. What a pass! Touchdown! Taylor Murray! What a move, what a pass!
It's all about that pass by Shanice Beckford-Norton, the vision to see it.
Big and one for Harrigan, gets a foul on Handy.
Winterburn, deep three is good! Unbelievable! She skips back down the floor and smiles. Stewart, time running down. Shots going up, and it's good! Chantel Charles, what an introduction! Absolutely fabulous play. First the pass in transition, now she knocks down a 3 at the buzzer. What a play by the Lions. They extend their lead.
Cena for another 3. Big 3 from Cena. And the foul. Opportunity for a 4-point play. McGarrigan with the foul. Well, that'll be a highlight play come the end of the week. That will be one of the WBBL top plays of the game.
I am Katerina Snitsina. I'm a basketball player of London Lions team, and also I am political activist from Belarus. To describe myself in 3 words: happy, because I'm a happy person, energy, a lot of energy, and love. I love everything. What am I doing, my life, this earth. As a basketball player, I am 3-point shooter. Why 3 points? Because there is no 4-point shot. So I will use also love, because I love this game, and that's a big part of why I still enjoy it. So yeah. My favorite teammate from London Lions, it's for sure Z. She's the best. As a human, as a player, as your teammate, she always supports you, and she think much better about me than I thinking about myself. This is my 20th season, and I played with Diana Taurasi at the beginning of my career. I was 18, and I saw somebody who shoot like that. She don't care she miss, because she knows she's Diana Taurasi, and she knows she will score. And I really believe the way how I'm playing now, it's a big part of the way how I was learning from her. You just see that confidence in the player, and she never loses it, no matter how she plays the game. I remember it was one game, and we was playing against each other, and goal for this game for them was like play defense against me, so I didn't score more than 17. I scored 20. Diana was guarding me, and I just like dribble, shoot, and score. And like I step on her, and I fell down. You know, she like picked me up from the floor. She was laughing. She's like, "Come on, Kat!" Like, you know. So she's a great player just because like she know how to enjoy basketball. Yeah, I'm just lucky to meet her at the beginning of my career. I'm captain of Belarus national basketball team for many years, but 2 years ago I decided to quit because it's a lot of going on in my country, but mostly it's because my government hate Belarusians. I, as many of my athletes, different sports, we stand up for people, not for government, and we speak out loud. The day when I announced it on my Instagram, what I'm leaving national team, I'm choosing my people. I don't want to choose government. It was more support than I get, I guess, in all my career for national team. I still stand up for my people. I still talking about situation in my country. And that's the reason why I cannot come back there now, because people in my country get arrested even for less. It didn't affect my parents right now. They're still in Belarus. I'm nervous they're still there, but we was talking many times, like, you want to move, like, I will do everything you can move in any country you choose, but they don't want to. I communicate with my people on Instagram really well, like they texting me and I always reply. So I decided I want to do like little trip around the Europe, and I visit around like 12 or 13 cities where the biggest community of Belarusians, and I just call people there, play basketball with me. I just saw a lot of people who, at least for 2 hours, forget about that stress what we have now, because it's a huge stress when people run away from country, and just enjoy how we spending our days here, like exactly this moment, and show the basketball sport can help you in this. And we now connected by one idea, you know, like to make our country free, and it's not about just basketball, and it's about people's lives.
So my name is Stella Kaltsidou. I'm the head coach of London Lions women's basketball team. I retired playing professionally since 4 years ago, and since then I'm coaching, and I'm really happy to be here. My professional basketball career was for almost 27 years. I spent 8 years in EuroLeague, 2 years in Eurocup teams. It has been a really full professional basketball career for me. I really enjoyed it. First time I played for the national team was 1998 with under 16 women. I never stopped playing until 2019 that I retired. I was in seniors women's national team. It gave me the opportunity to do as a profession what I love the most, playing basketball. It gave me the opportunity to travel around the world, meet new people, create relationships. For me, it really helped me grow a lot, and I'm really grateful for that. One of the toughest players I ever had to play against is Diana Taurasi. We played against each other on the World Championship, so I had the impossible mission to guard her. She was really tough. It was really hard. Like, I remember myself trying to defend and getting in my face baskets all the time. I really enjoyed, like, it was great to play against her. I earned a lot of things from the teammates I had during all my career. One of the best bigs, let's say, that I played with is Tammy Fagbene, who is British. She was really one of the best mates I ever had, not only because of her personality, but as a player she understands the game really, really good, and I really enjoy to play with her. I knew I wanted to become a coach a couple of years maybe before I decided to retire, and I feel like an obligation, if I can say, for me to give back something to basketball, because I took so many things from it. Playing on a high level for so long time, it gives me an advantage as a coach, because I can understand how the players feel. I'm a really big fan of the idea that the power of a team is the team itself, and I love watching teams that they are playing and they are selfless, caring for each other that you can see in every point of view in the court. Taking this role with the London Lions is really a big challenge for me. I think the organization is doing a great job trying to build a team on even higher than a professional level. So I'm really excited to be part of it. So the goals in short term with the team, it's to convince my players that they can do so much more. For me, that's the first bet right now, to just convince them that when they play with full energy and they are concentrate and playing what we are working, I think they can just play great basketball. My target is to bring back the best British players and build a team based on the British basketball players and just be the best we can be.
For too long, the old guard has held court. Their rules, their terms, their arena. But what happens when you take something from the streets and put it on display for the world to see? The tide starts to shift. It lets the old guard know exactly who's next and resets the stage for something new. This is street art, showing all season.
London's a place of diversity and options. No matter where you're from, you always find your people here. The community feels pretty tight. East London's like its own little world. There's so many opportunities. No one's really left out. You just have to know what you want and know how to go get it. Like a go-getter, like a hustler.
You walk down the street, you're always going to see someone who you recognise. You hear so many different types of perspectives and everyone else's story. You're a bit more understanding of people.
Being a Londoner, yeah, it feels like I'm involved in something, you know, I belong to something. East London means everything to me. I'm not afraid to be myself, 100%.
It's very special when everyone comes together. Everyone has a chance to be heard. In East London, everyone can belong.
And good evening and welcome back to the National Sports Centre here at Crystal Palace, the fourth and final WBBL quarter-final, and the London Lions have moved one step closer towards the clean sweep. They lead the Newcastle Eagles 52 points to 20 at the half-time break. Michael Hanson-Morris back alongside me is Kyla Nelson. And Kyla, how clinical a first half was that for the Lions?
I think they came out and did everything they kind of wanted to do. That was show their aggression on defense and ability to create turnovers and to be able to push the ball and finish offensively. What I've really enjoyed from the Lions, actually, is their ability to kind of play in the half court against the zone the Eagles have been playing. And it's shown through the likes of Holly Winterburn with 14 points already. Shakila Joseph is doing a great job on the offensive boards to be able to have second chance points. And everything they're kind of doing is what they're building towards is greatness for the London Lions and another piece of silverware, right? They're 3 out of 3, they won the fourth one, and it shows right now.
Yeah, and the story of that first half really was Eagles had early control of the offensive glass, but then all of a sudden Lions just flipped that switch. Lions at half-time have 13 offensive rebounds, Eagles just 9 defensive rebounds.
That's a big part of the game, right? Rebounding, especially with the finishing ability from the Lions and the Eagles. And normally they've struggled a little bit on the offensive board to be able to convert after grabbing them, but they've been playing the right way. I just hope they keep pushing and understanding it. They will reap the rewards from it.
Indeed, as the sun is pouring through at Crystal Palace, something that we've definitely not missed in this lovely historic building. Obviously, Lions were here earlier in the year for Euro Cup games, and obviously with winning the league, the prize awaits an opportunity at EuroLeague qualifiers in September and October, and that will be on the staff's mind, but not for a couple of weeks because it's 2 more games of Bartle after the second half of this game if they want to complete the clean sweep, as both sides are heading out for this second half. Eagles coming out with their starting five of Bland, Justinak, Nolan, Lewis and Fernandez. And for the Lions, a couple of changes. They'll go with Charles, Murray, Battle, Josephs and Winterburn. As the second half underway, Newcastle Eagles 20 minutes to pull off a miracle and keep their season alive, as Lewis will travel, and immediately great defence by the Lions. Shaquila Joseph just staying vertical and making it difficult.
What I loved was seeing Murray on Fernandez, forcing her way outside the three-point line on the dribble, which makes it really hard to kind of execute any offence.
Battle, who had a big impact in the second quarter, having picked up 2 early fouls to open the game. Murray now on the baseline, finds Battle, 10 foot, and that's Taylor Murray's versatility. A minute ago on the defensive end and now on offense.
Just shows how much she adds to this team. But Ty Battle, I think, is still 100% from the field, right? She's been finishing at an incredible level.
Yeah, Battle 5 of 5 and 3 of 3 from downtown. She's guarding Lewis, but Lewis with that lovely spin move over the right shoulder and will lay it home for 2. And that's someone the Eagles needed to get going. Nolan and Lewis had a big outing the first time these teams matched up. Today, just 6 points at the half, as Charles skips to Winterburn, leaves it short, but Chantel Charles, another offensive rebound, finds Winterburn, corner, triple, up and good. Holly Winterburn, 17 points.
And I love the confidence. You miss the first one and you just grab it after a great offensive rebound by your teammate and shoot the second one without hesitation. That's what Holly knows she has to do to be successful in this team.
Bland guarded by Charles. Lack of movement from the Eagles. Fernandez just off the one screen but not open, as again Lions fighting over the top. Justinak into the paint but also into her own teammate. Has to force up a prayer but gets it to go. And Maggie Justinak up to 8 points personal. Winterburn trying to respond at the other end but can't quite connect this time from downtown. And Fernandez gets Charles on the fake, right-handed layup short, maybe Joseph with the block, but Nolan able to pick up the offensive rebound, and this is better from the Newcastle Eagles.
Yeah, great start. They're really enforcing their strengths down low to be able to finish in the paint.
And Taylor Murray now, Eagles again in this 2-3 zone, screened by Shaquila Joseph. Battle underneath, can't quite get it to go. First miss of the game for Battle, but she's able to corral the offensive rebound and immediately set up a Horns action set. Winterburn to Josephs, trying to find Charles in the corner. Chantel Charles a little bit short, but the ball straight back to her. And another third opportunity for the Lions. Winterburn ball screen. Charles going to re-drive on the closeout, and Antoinette Lewis called for the foul.
Patience is the word I'd use about that offense for the Lions. They're not forcing anything. They're just trying to get the ball inside, if that's through the dribble or through the pass. And good things happen when they do that.
And it's knowing that you've got a good shot and going, we can do better than that, and turning it into a great shot or trip to the foul line. And this is what this Lions team has done so well. It's that synergy. No one on this roster really worries about their own stats. It's that collaborative effort, depending on matchup, who needs what. As Chantel Charles makes the first at the line. Another great free throw shooter, 83% on the season. Lions, the best team in the WBBL in the regular season from the line as a team, shot at it at 78.5%.
Yeah, another free throw by Chantel Charles, who actually had a really good game against Newcastle about a month ago, a little bit less, with 10 points.
As Lewis to Justinak. Eagles trying to get 3 scores in a row for the first time today. It'll be Fernandez with the 3 off to the left, but loose ball rebound. Ball didn't hit the rim, so shot clock did not reset, so Justinak's going to have to fire that one on the rim, but great box out by Winterburn on Bland. And now Lions pushing. Chantel Charles tries to go behind the back but loses the handle. And now Eagles able to look for a quick score, but Holly Winterburn again with those quick hands. And again, it feels like every time we look at a statistical category, London Lions top, and that's how dominant they've been this season. Really, it's just free throw attempts where they're a little bit lacking, but it's strength in depth and the resilience of this roster. Don't forget they had a coaching change in February with Stella Katsudou coming in to replace Mark Clark as Lewis gets the contact, can't quite get the layup to go. But again, better from the Eagles, just stringing possessions, and the off-ball movement has been what's worked for them early in this quarter.
Much better movement, but I loved how they're just trying to get it inside a lot more. Not settling. Great job by Lewis using their left hand, trying to scoop it in. Got the foul. But they're not kind of settling for three-point jump shots so much anymore. They're still taking good ones, but they're really enforcing themselves in the paint.
As Eagles miss their first free throw of the day, they're a perfect 4 of 4 at half-time. But Antoinette Lewis can't make the first. Lewis last year played in Romania for 14.5 points a game, 52% from the floor. But 1 of 2 at the line. Winterburn looking for Taylor Murray, but just a miscommunication. Murray saw the chance to cut on the baseline, and Winterburn thought she was going to spot up for that three.
And if there's a time to kind of work those kinks out right now, being up just over 30 in the first round of playoffs is the time to do it. That's where you kind of learn each other. Where Winterburn will realise Murray will probably want to cut rather than a shooter being out there staying in the corner.
As Lewis tried to split not 2 but 3 Lions defenders. Not quite sure how the ball ended up out of bounds, but it was last touched by the Lions. And that will allow some changes with Leslie Vorpal and Shanice Beckford-Norton checking into that backcourt rotation as Winterburn and Murray take a breather. Gaynor. Justinak for the 3. Up and good. Maggie Justinak up to 11 points personal, and the first time she's been able to connect from downtown.
Yeah, I think that was a little stagger screen. There was two players going down to set a screen for the three-point shot right there, and a great job knocking it down.
Beckford-Norton looking to respond. Foot on the line, so long 2, but Shaquila Joseph blocked on the putback attempt by Chloe Gaynor. Now Rachel Bland trying to sprint the floor. But
great effort by Chloe Gaynor. She set a great screen on offense for that three-point shot last possession and had a block down on the other end.
Fernandez crossover, but terrific defense by Beckford-Norton to stay in front, and now she doesn't quite take the charge. Referee just said flop warning, but Fernandez is free short, but Antoinette Lewis able to pick up the air ball, reverse layup for 2.
If you watched her movement there, it's called a swim move. Her ability to get around, I think it was Charles that time. She got around her with a little swim move, you call it, over the top, just sneaked around her for the offensive rebound.
As skip pass, Vorpal, then again drive, tries to wrap it around Joseph with the 15-footer, and that's the balance of the Lions point guards. Leslie Vorpal come in, and she's just picked up from what Taylor Murray's done in the opening bit of the third quarter.
The IQ of their point guards is incredible. Vorpal just shows right there a composure to get it inside. Nice little drop pass for a jump shot for Joseph.
Gaynor, turnaround jump shot short, and now Fernandez trailing the play, so Lions can push 5 on 4. Joseph right into that gap in the zone, finds Charles. She thinks about the 3, but thinks better of it, and she'll reset. But Vorpal will walk right into it. No contest from the Eagles defense, but Antoinette Lewis with another big rebound as she works on a double-double. 9.6 rebounds for the American as Justinak against Beckford-Norton. Beckford-Norton again to the floor, not even looking for the charge. I think just slipped, but Ty Battle into the driving lane, knocks it loose, and Shaquila Joseph with a dime to Battle on the back door.
A big pass like that, what can you do? Beautiful job having a nice little bounce pass to Ty Battle, who was able to finish.
And the precision just to thread the needle between two defenders. Expertly done by Shaquila Joseph, and the lead back into the 30s once again as Fernandez closely guarded, nowhere to go. Gaynor, Lewis looking for the lob pass, but Gaynor goes with the bounce pass, somehow gets it there, but Antoinette Lewis couldn't quite convert. And now Leslie Vorpal pushing down, early post touch. Shaquila Joseph lays it home.
And that's the difference between the two ends right there. I think Lewis kind of got the ball away from the basket, whereas, timeout right here for Newcastle. But yeah, as I was saying, kind of Lewis got away from the basket on that finish on one end, whereas was that Ty Battle on the other end was able to finish, if not Shaquila Joseph, I think.
Yeah, it was Shaquila Joseph on the layup, but it's that movement and that clinical of choosing the right pass. The ball got there to Antoinette Lewis, but she's being fronted probably 9 out of 10 times. That's a turnover, and instead it was a rush shot is what they got, and then Lions able to capitalise in transition.
Post play is all about technicalities and timings, right, between you and your passer on the wing. And the Lions are showing a clinic on how to get that done right now.
Indeed, and obviously it's a little early on our screens, but I think London Lions will feel confident. A little bit of a warning about ticket sales for the fans in attendance at Crystal Palace, and if the Lions do close out this victory, it'll be almost a London derby. It's not quite London Sevenoaks, but it's close enough. It'll be London Lions, Sevenoaks Suns back here in Crystal Palace next Sunday, 5:15 tip for that one, so just half an hour earlier than this week. And the one thing we've known, Kyle, in WBBL, London Lions, Sevenoaks Suns, never a boring matchup between those two franchises.
You can never put Sevenoaks Suns down for any game just because of the history they have in this league and the coaching from Len. But I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but what an exciting matchup next week that will be, hopefully when London kind of finish it out in the second half.
Yeah, Sevenoaks Suns able to advance, knocking off the Sheffield Hatters on the road, 76-49 on Saturday evening. Janice Monacana, 23 points, including a perfect 3 of 3 from downtown, and Arion Bradshaw with 19 on 9 of 15 shooting. But for now, we're back into the action at the National Sports Centre here at Crystal Palace. Chloe Gaynor trying to back the ball down, but Katie Nolan on the floor and somehow keeps the ball low, but shot clock down to 1 second. And Azania Stewart saying, Chloe Gaynor, you will not get that off in time. And it's a 24-second violation. And again, not quite the steal this time for London, but so active with the hands.
To me, that starts with Ty Battle's ability to play post defense. She really pushed Chloe Gaynor outside of that charge circle, where she's not so comfortable dribbling, and that caused a turnover there.
Vorpal head down over Katie Nolan, and Leslie Vorpal up to 5 points personal. And this lead up to a game-high 35. WBBL quarter-final. Last game of what's been a busy weekend in both the BBL and the WBBL. As Klassen fires up from downtown. Back iron. And another easy rebound for the Lions. Vorpal now finding Cincina, who's gone quiet since opening the game, 3 of 3 from downtown. And she tries to find Azania Stewart down low, but Eagles jump into the passing lane. Abby Lowe transition 3 up and long. And they're the clinical moments for the Eagles that Lions on one end able to capitalise on open threes, and today it just hasn't dropped for Newcastle.
There's a difference between playing quick and fast and rushed, and I think the Lions are, at times in transition are playing fast, right? Whereas the Eagles look rushed to me. That jump shot by Abby Lowe, I know she can make the three. She's hit those threes in the past, but everything just looks a little too fast, a little too rushed for the Eagles when they get chances to score.
Yeah, Eagles now 3 of 19 from downtown with changes both ways. As Holly Winterburn, the game's leading scorer, checks back in. Abby Lowe working on Winterburn, going to find Gaynor. Pump fake on the free, stop and pop off the one dribble. Back iron, but another great box out by Azania Stewart to keep Katie Nolan off the offensive glass. Nolan with just 4 rebounds, but Vorpal again trying to go in transition, this time just a little too strong. And Eagles now with the early post touch. This is probably where they've been most successful today, in and out on the post. This time Nolan not really looking to attack, but trying to get a reseal, and Azania Stewart jumping into the passing lane. Vorpal, alley-oop pass, Janice Beck for Norton, but just a little short.
That would have been absolutely beautiful, but a great job by Azania there.
Gaynor on the trail, fires up over Cincina, looked good from our angle, but didn't quite get the roll, and Leslie Vorpal able to pull it in. Good 2-for-1 opportunity for the Lions to finish this third quarter. It's been a lot more competitive. Lions only up 3 in this quarter. Cincina tries to make it 6 and does.
I knew that ball was going in before she even shot it. The confidence, just the flow of her shot, and their ability to execute to get shots for such a high-level shooter is incredible.
Abby Lowe got pushed, but referee saying she was already losing her balance. And with 23.5 seconds left on the game clock in this third quarter, London Lions going to talk it over and try and again draw something up to end the quarter strong.
And that proves to you right there, with only only a few seconds left in this quarter, how important every possession is for Coach Stella, right? She wants to draw it up, she wants to talk to her team so they have a possession that they can score on at the end of this quarter.
And again, the depth of the Lions is what we've seen all season long, and the bench points sum this up. Newcastle Eagles have some talent on the bench, but right now being outscored by the Lions 22 points to 13. Jaquila Joseph with 9, Chantel Charles with 6. And for the Eagles, it's just Courtney Klassen with the 1 field goal from downtown.
Yeah, the level never really drops depending on what kind of rotations are in for the Lions, which is a great thing for them. And I love the fact that it doesn't matter who brings the ball up, who's running sets. You have Holly Winterburn at the 1 with Shalise and Murray out, but they can all play on different positions with different players, and there's never really a 5 on the floor for the Lions that the level feels like it's dropping.
Indeed, and obviously that's having lost Paulina Hersler to obviously the amount of imports you can have in the WBBL. Herbert Harrigan now with the Connecticut Suns in training camp as well. Right, little friendly wager for you, Kyla Nelson. Last shot, where's it going?
How am I meant to know that with all these studs on the floor? I'm going with Cincinnati only because she just hit a 3. I think she deserves to get the ball again in this last possession.
We'll see. I'm going to go with Holly Winterburn. Lions out with a really small 5, a lineup that we definitely haven't seen this year. Cincinnati, Winterburn, Murray, Beckford Norton and Vorpal. Looks like Winterburn's ready to set some sort of away from the ball screen. She comes for the handoff, looks for the backdoor cut to Murray. Recycled Vorpal up, extra pass to Winterburn. Doesn't quite get it to go, but terrific offense by the Lions.
Yeah, if I'm the Lions coach Stella right now, you can't be much more happier with that possession. The extra passes, the movement, the cuts, the speed of it. They're really trying to execute because they know, as we spoke about, it's bigger than this game. It's about what's next for this Lions team.
Indeed, and the score at the end of 3, London Lions 70, Newcastle Eagles 32. It was an 18-12 third quarter, and you can see how loose the Lions were. Zania Stewart having a little dance party on the screen. But that's how this Lions team have been all year, just loose and enjoying basketball.
And that's a game changer. When you can do that and play at a high level, it's the best job in the world, right? Anyone would want to do that. I think the Lions have done a great job at integrating their team to be able to just know their roles. You can see there are open shots for people, but they know whether it's a good shot to take or not for their team. And their patience and their ability to play together and have fun with it is everything you want in a professional team that's competing not only in the WBBL but in the Euro Cup.
Indeed, and obviously it's going to be a big off-season. You saw there, Lions shooting 52% from 2. The threes haven't quite gone at their normality today, down at 30%, but the quality of looks Lions able to create is all important as we get ready for the 4th quarter here at Crystal Palace. And that'll give us time to talk about the weekend a little bit, Kyle. Obviously 3 other semi-finals. We've already briefly touched upon the Sevenoaks win, but the other semi-final will be a barn burner. Caledonia Pride will take on the Leicester Riders. Caledonia, a comfortable victory up in Scotland, 81-53 against the Cardiff Met Archers. Caledonia jumped out the gate in that one, 30-8 opening quarter, and a real collaborative effort by Caledonia, 6 players in double figures.
It shows what kind of style of basketball they want to play, right? They want to move the ball. They kind of want everyone to get theirs, and Caledonia did a great job in that first round to extend their league as much as they did against Cardiff.
And that's a team that's been playing their best basketball of the season, no doubt, down the stretch. And we'll talk about the Leicester Riders in a minute. A Cincinnati wide open 3 to start the 4th. Doesn't quite go. Looked like a similar action to what they tried for Winterburn to end the 3rd. The Lions have come out on the floor with a bit more of a normal group, shall we say, with Winterburn, Cincinnati, Stewart, Vorpal and Beckford Norton, as Lewis trying to find Nolan on the high low, but the ball batted away, and Vorpal able to bring it up, skips past Abby Lowe, and Katie Nolan doing a great job in transition, sprinting back and knocking the ball out of bounds. The Eagles have got Klassen, Lewis, Fernandez, Nolan and Lowe on the floor for what will be their final 10 minutes of their season. Newcastle Eagles finished the regular season 9-13 and did just about squeak into the playoffs on the final day, as Winterburn, that up and under move that we didn't see in the first half, this time she goes to it and gets fouled once again.
Holly's just showing a range of her skill set right now. Yeah. You kind of think she had nothing on the elbow when she picked the ball up and she created something with that long step she has to the basket.
Indeed, Winterburn looking to move to 19 points personal on the day. She's lived at the charity stripe. 10 free-throw attempts already for the former rider. And talking of the riders, boy oh boy, yesterday was a thriller. Ooh. Leicester Riders 83, Essex Rebels 80.
And you get extra basketball in overtime as well. You can't ask for much more.
I was just about to say, in overtime, it was a Claire Paxton 3 to force the extra 5 minutes as Lewis drives to the hoop. Scoop left, doesn't go. Nolan on the offensive rebound. Felt like she got some contact, but referee's happy to let it go. And again, Katie Nolan with a tough afternoon, just 4 points and a rare turnover for the Lions. But that game, Essex, with 11.5 minutes to go, up 13 on the road at the Morningside Arena and looked in control as Abby Lowe strings to 3. But a championship calibre team in Leicester Riders obviously made both the cup and the trophy final, went, we don't want our season to end today, and they fought back with that veteran leadership on the roster and then found a way to grind it out in overtime.
And I think that's what was the difference, was the veteran leadership, right? Even being down, as Holly, a vet herself, even being as young as she is. No, having vets in the team and having a coach that's been there before in Leicester Riders.
And Shanice Beckford-Norton with a terrific play, saved the ball, threw it to keep it off bounds, and it bounced off Abby Lowe's leg, who had no time to react, and Lions steal a possession.
And up almost 40, and you've got players still battling like this. It just proves that Shanice knows how much this game means to their momentum going into the next one.
Indeed, and we'll see if Lions can execute. Again, the ball in a really awkward spot to inbound, right in that coffin corner as Winterburn drives baseline and draws the foul from Courtney Klassen, her second team foul on the Eagles. But for the Riders, it was Fiona O'Dwyer who stepped up, the Irish international who's come back to the WBBL this year. 23 points and 9 rebounds, including 6 offensive rebounds. And then the normal support from Ashley Arlen, Oleana Squires, and then Mackenzie Johnston with a 19.9 rebound, 6 assist day as Winterburn tries to get the triple to go. And it feels like Holly Winterburn and Mackenzie Johnston, the 2 players in the WBL, you almost expect a triple-double now from them, and that says a lot for how much the league has progressed. At triple-doubles are talked about nearly week in, week out.
Yeah, you don't actually realise how hard a triple-double is until you're out playing on the floor. And the fact that you kind of expect that from players such as Winterburn and others just proves the level of basketball that these women are playing in this league.
Indeed, and obviously Essex Rebels season came to an end. They were another team that endured a coaching change with Katie Nolan travelling there, Tom Sadler moving back to be with wife and now baby in the States. So Ross Norfolk taking that job on an interim basis to the end of the season. We are expecting news at some point in the summer about where Essex go for a replacement coach, but there was a coaching search done, so perhaps in the next few weeks we'll get news on the Essex Rebels on that front, as Holly Winterburn trying to add to her tally. 21 points personal for the GB international. She gets blocked from behind by Courtney Klassen. Great job to stay with the play by the American. And now Eagles looking for offense once again, and a host of changes as well, with 4 players at the scorer's table for the next whistle. Klassen now on Winterburn. Winterburn trying to get one back, but can't stop Klassen firing at the 3, but off the back iron. And Fernandez with a Hail Mary turnaround jump shot. And Katie Nolan trying to do a great job keeping the ball alive. Unfortunately ran out of room, and she'll find Shanice Beckford-Norton in transition, and one person in the league you will not catch is Beckford-Norton.
And she's done it on every level. WBBL for England, 3-on-3x3. On the national team level, her ability to sprint down the floor, pushing the ball and finishing is great.
Lewis can't connect. And now Vorpal finds Stewart. Again, great ball movement, finds Cincina wide open, and again just can't drop for Katerina Cincina, but a great look. And the ball movement again showing how Lions have had success all season long. Obviously a venue they used in the Euro Cup, but not been here since before Christmas. And Azania Stewart with the steal will find Beckford-Norton, and she will lay it home for 2. And Shanice forces a timeout by Eagles, and everyone was just hoping she'd try and get up and see if she could almost lay it in hands at the rim.
She could definitely do it if she tried, but no need to exert too much energy when you're up this 78-35 in the first round of playoffs. There's a lot more basketball to come.
Indeed, and obviously that semi-final will be here at the National Sports Centre in Crystal Palace next Sunday, 5:15 tip for that one. And then 2 weeks away, the big one, the BBL and WBBL playoff finals at the O2 Arena, a few miles up the road from here. Winner takes all, final games of the season, and what is set to be a sellout crowd.
That's what it's all about, right?
Indeed,
That's
and
what it's all about.
Obviously we have news as well that we've not yet talked about on the broadcast. Stay with us post-game, because the London Lions won the league on the road in Caledonia. They pushed their trophy lift back, didn't want to do it in Scotland, and instead that will follow this game. The London Lions will be presented with the WBBL League Championship at the conclusion of this quarter-final.
And I think the Lions holding that kind of silverware will just make them want this next one even more. WBL Cup winners, trophy winners, league winners, now it's all about the playoffs.
Indeed.
But a great time to kind of celebrate what they've done so far, and to do it in London and in front of this crowd after the game is going to be really cool.
And there is some sort of pressure on the Lions. Teams from day one have expected this team to win, but you've also got the BBL team who've had a strong season. And trying to go, you know what, BBL team, you're great, but you only won 3 trophies. We won all 4.
Oh, yeah, the women can hold that on the men all the time. They've proven how to do it on every level.
Gaynor with the big back screen to free up Zoe Willis, bringing the ball up against the Lions' pressure. See if Newcastle can finish their season strong. 6 minutes left of this quarter-final. Nolan going at Paige Robinson. I don't know if that was blocked or not by Robinson, but terrific job. Winterburn with a quarterback pass. Gaynor drops out of her hands. Vorpal, Robinson, and a foul by Justinak on the floor. But again, that unselfish nature of the Lions, turning a good shot into a great shot, as you see here on the replay.
Yeah, you're looking like, oh, who's going to go up with it? Who is it? And they just keep finding the next person who's even more open than they are.
And it'll be end-line ball? Apparently Robinson wasn't shooting.
I think she fumbled a little bit, so maybe it wasn't in the act of shooting.
There you go, Kyla. How to look after the referees on broadcast. Great job. Winterburn tries again to downtown, but Robinson fighting for it, but again, just can't come up with it. And Chloe Gaynor now, Eagles trying to find a strong finish to this season. They finished 9-13 in the league, making the finals on the last weekend in dramatic fashion. In fact, no due part to the Lions as a skip pass heads out of bounds. Newcastle won in Cardiff to put themselves in contention for the playoffs, but then they lost on the final day of the season to the Sevenoaks Suns. And when their game finished, I spoke to assistant coach Luke Orwin about this. They pulled the score up from London Durham. That game tipped half an hour later, and they saw Durham in the lead. And at that spot, that was going to knock the Newcastle Eagles out of the playoffs, and not only put Durham in the playoffs, but put Durham in the playoffs as a 6th seed. But unfortunately for Durham, they kind of ran out of steam. Lions with a terrific fourth quarter as Vorpal can't quite get the leg to go. Terrific pass once again by Zania Stewart. And the Lions pulled out in the fourth quarter and ended up blowing out Durham, but in a scoreline really not reflective of the game. And that put the Newcastle Eagles into the playoffs.
But that just proves how close the competition is in this league, right? Showing that the last game is determining who is in the playoffs. And that's what you want. You want it to be this competitive. And Newcastle got that chance from some other wins and losses around the league and from what they've done at the end of the season. And they're here in the quarterfinals. Yeah,
it was a 3-way tie on 9-13. Cardiff met Archers, Newcastle Eagles, Durham, Palatinates. As Zania Stewart burns by Antoinette Lewis, but can't quite get the layup to go, but will earn a trip to the charity stripe. A 3-way tie, and that's where the tiebreakers came in. Newcastle Eagles didn't have the individual head-to-head with either team, but by splitting those games, that was enough on the 3-way head-to-head to earn that playoff spot. As Zania Stewart goes to line, and we need to talk about Z. Obviously was up here earlier in your seat for the men's game on broadcast, but obviously has announced this will be her final season. And for you, Kyla, you saw Zania when you were growing up playing basketball and the legacy she's going to leave behind for British players.
Yeah, well, I'm right now trying to channel my inner Zania Stewart as the commentator. I hope I'm doing doing a pretty good job, but no, I mean, what she's done for this sport and in this country, she had a mini retirement from GB, kind of came back after that. Yeah, I grew up, I was able to go to some GB senior camps with her. I mean, everyone loves her. And one thing I need to know is, how does she do everything at such a high level, right?
And Chloe Gaynor with the full court press bait, but again, terrific defense by the Lions. Chantel Charles knocking it out of bounds. And again, you talked about channeling Xenia Stewart, and she's just part of this culture shift with the Lions. Obviously, the leadership she brought last year with Joe Leedon-Warner as well, but helping mentor this veteran group. But it's all the stuff the Lions are now starting to do away from the court with the community aspect as well.
What the Lions are trying to do within London and the community is incredible. They're launching so many different things. They've launched the jersey that we've seen the men and the women wear, called the Londoner, in collab with Hard in the Paint. And
we saw that in people in the crowd today, in the men's and the women's game, people physically wearing that jersey.
But it's all kind of about just creating a basketball community, and I love that the jersey is about being unapologetically yourself and just showcasing what London basketball is all about.
Indeed, and obviously some of the work led by the GM Vanya and assisted by Jacob Lloyd, things are just starting to move in a different direction. There's going to be a lot of changes over the summer as well, as Lions continue to put an imprint on British basketball, as Vorpal tries to find Beckford Norton in the corner, but ball stays with the Lions. Final 4 minutes of this WBBL quarterfinal. Charles from 3 strings it.
And what I love about this WBBL team is, and the BBL leagues in general, is they're starting to inspire so many young British players to want to play in this league as they grow up. I mean, Chantel Charles was grown up in the system, right? And she would have had people to look it up to, but now the WBBL has become what it is, and the BBL on the men's side, these kids are being a part of something bigger than themselves and will want to stay in this country for longer to play.
And again, that's replicated across the WBBL with the crowd attendances starting to go up week on week. Newcastle Eagles did a terrific job in January for a special occasion as Charles looks for back-to-back threes, can't quite get it to go. And Antoinette Lewis with another rebound. She's working on trying to secure that double-double. 9.7 rebounds now for the American, and Zoe Willis can't quite connect on that backdoor cut. Turnover 26 for the Eagles. Drop pass to Joseph, drives baseline. Good defense by Gaynor and Justin had to cut off the angle. Robinson will recycle. Vorpal waiting for that ball screen. Lovely between the legs dribble, creates some separation. Charles attacking the closeout, finds a teammate underneath, and as easy as you like.
That's what you want in basketball. You want those easy little layups, wide open. Great job by Charles driving and kicking to Shaquila Joseph.
And that Eagles crowd was about 1,200 against the Leicester Riders, and then in March it was beaten not once but twice. The Leicester Riders broke it on International Women's Day celebration, and then the week after Essex Rebels went, not so fast my friend. We can do it against the Leicester Riders, and we had a 1,500 sellout in the Essex Sports Arena. But that boost of crowds, we had 800 at a Lions women's game a couple of weeks ago, boarding, if not more. That momentum shift and that culture is so important to inspire the next generation.
That's it, exactly. And I love that we're seeing it on both the men's and women's side, an increase in crowds, because there's so much value in the game in this country, and as you say, inspiring the next generation. The London Lions are also working with the London Youth Games, who have over 125,000 young participants, from the London community, and they'll have a chance to be around the men's and women's players at the final on the 1st of July at the Copper Box. And what a great way for these little kids to see what they can aspire to be.
Indeed, and obviously Shanice Beckford Norton and probably people even like Shaquila Joseph and Chantal Charles played in the London Youth Games when it was great. It's obviously been around a long time, and I know seeing so many players, all the London boroughs go up against each other, and you talk about a war. London on London basketball is normally that, and the London Youth Games no exception.
You have to rep your ends.
Indeed, as we're into the final 2 minutes, just about of this WBBL quarterfinal. Zoe Willis looking for the triple, can't quite connect, and unfortunately the Eagles going out with a little bit of a whimper, just 3 points in this final quarter.
And I know Antoinette Lewis has been missing around the rim a little bit, but I love her ability to drive and attack. Having a big player who has great ball handling skills and can create her own shot is incredible. So although she struggled a little bit, almost had a double-double. her ability to get to the rim is so great to see.
Indeed, as Millie Oates will check in for the first time for the Eagles, wearing 6.
I say struggling there. She hits a mid-range jump shot right there.
That's what we need to do early in the game. But now Antoinette Lewis now into double figures. Second Eagle in double figures along with Maggie Justanak. And a kickball violation is called. And for the Eagles, obviously, tough day today. You always knew coming into London, the playoffs, it was going to be difficult. But they've definitely started to make strides, bringing in more pros as well and doing a good job around building that team aspect. And a big launch step forward for next season and as they go into the off-season.
It's all a learning curve, right? Is how can we build each game, each day in practice to become better than we are? And this is just the start for the Eagles.
Indeed, and see if we can get a couple more buckets to end it. Battle, who was terrific in that second quarter, can't connect, leaves it leaking to the right. And we're into the final ends of this game. Reminder that the WBBL semi-finals will be next week. Both games likely to be Sunday. Caledonia still working out a few minor kinks in the scheduling, as Molly Arnold, wearing 16, also into the game for the Eagles. So it'll be London Lions, Sevenoaks Suns here at the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre, and then the Caledonian Gladiators, Leicester Riders. The winner of those two games will meet at the O2 in the final. As Joseph to Sincina. Final minute of the game. Joseph, pull-up jump shot doesn't quite go, and Taylor Murray batters it out of bounds.
She just wanted to show off a bit of her athleticism there, I think. She got up pretty high to knock that out.
And Eagles again just rotating through, giving some of their up and young coming players opportunity into the game. Alex Campbell, she's a first year up studying in the northeast city of Leeds Academy graduate. She's played about 3 minutes a game for the Eagles this season, and she's getting a chance to end the season on the court. So Eagles now with all 12 players in the game. We'll see if they can have a final offense and success in that. Fernandez off the ball screen. Reminder, stay with us. We will have the WBBL League Championship presentation at the end of this game, as Millie Oates does a great job cutting off Taylor Murray. It looked like she wanted a layup down the court, and we'll also catch up with the game MVP, Holly Winterburn. Winterburn finishing with 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in 24 minutes, as Chantel Charles can't quite get it to go. And the ball will be advanced into the front court, and the clock will expire. Final score, London Lions 86, Newcastle Eagles 37.
Yeah, the London Lions showed their ability to kind of dominate from the start. A great job by their team to execute, and I'm really excited to actually go down and speak to our MVP, Holly Winterburn.
We will let you head down, Kyla, for that post-game interview before we get the league presentation in. And final score here at the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. London Lions 86, Newcastle Eagles 37. Quarter scores. It was the Lions jumping out early, 26-8 opening quarter, and then another 26-point quarter for the Lions going into half-time. Eagles responded with 12 points of their own, leaving the half-time score 52-20, and then the second half, Lions 18-12 in the third quarter, and then 16 points to 5, and that's how we get to your final score on screen, 86-37. And as we said, Holly Winterburn leading the way for the Lions, 21 points, 1 of 4 Lions in double figures. And there you see Newcastle Eagles really struggling from shooting, 27% from 2, 17% from 3, and then the offensive rebound battle that Lions dominated in the first half, but Eagles clawed it back late. And it was Maggie Justanak and Antoinette Lewis with 11 points apiece for the Eagles. But unfortunately for the Eagles, they didn't have that depth in scoring. And Marina Fernandez with 5 points personal and 5 rebounds, 4 assists for the Eagles captain as they bow out. And we will head courtside as Kyla Nelson is joined by game MVP Holly Winterburn.
Okay, I'm here with Holly Winterburn right now. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in 24 minutes. Tell me about how you feel about the game today.
I think we came out really strong. You know, we played them a couple of weeks ago, but you know, we stuck to the scout. We came out strong. We were up 30 at the half, so it was just about maintaining from there.
Obviously, missing Kiki out in the WNBA, Connecticut Suns. How are you feeling without her, and what do you want to say to her?
I mean, we miss her. She's probably the MVP of the league. Like, we're obviously going to miss her, and we wish her the best of luck. She's going to kill it, but you know, we have people that can fill in and maybe not give the same efficiency Kiki gave, but they can give other things. So
absolutely. And how do you guys feel about the next round? Now you're in the semi-finals. What's next for the London Lions?
I mean, semi-final is going to be a tough game. You know, 7X always make it a grind-out game. So we're going to have to go away, watch their film, get a game plan, and yeah, come out strong.
Well, good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Was that quick enough? That was nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Ready for the WBBL Championship presentation. London Lions finished 21-1 in the regular season, just one loss to the Caledonia Gladiators in the middle of February for the Lions. It will be the BBL CEO Aaron Radin who will present Kyla, obviously terrific season for the Lions and rightly rewarded with the league championship.
Yeah, what a great time to celebrate it after winning the first round in the playoffs and in London in front of a great crowd. They really deserve this. They put the work in the whole season, change of coaches, change of rosters, but they've stuck together and just tried to play the right way the entire season, and it's paid off with this championship.
Yeah, and obviously we'll talk about the roster as they come up and get their medals, but we'll also talk about the players that weren't here that played a part. Obviously, Kennedy Leonard started the season for the Lions and then departed. Paulina Hurstler played a big role. And then, of course, possibly your MVP in Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
Yeah, they've all played a huge role into getting the Londons where they are in the FIBA Euro Cup games and in the WBBL. But again, in my interview with Holly Winterberg, she spoke about everyone just being able to step up, and that's what they're doing. They have a high-level roster all the way down the bench, and their ability to come in with rotations and the level and quality of basketball not dropping just proves their culture and give credit to the players themselves, really.
And also the coaching staff. Obviously, it's not easy going through a coaching change, but after the disappointment of Europe and bowing out in that first group stage, this group really rebounded and did a great job for the Lions, and we're just about ready for the trophy presentation, and it'll give us a chance to really dive into some of this roster, and we'll obviously start with the game MVP, Holly Winterburn, and the fact that Holly's, as we said so many times on the broadcast, kept developing, and she's really turned into a leader for this Lions team.
And what I love about Holly is she did her own journey. She did what was best for her. She went out to the States for a year at a high-level school at Oregon, decided it was time for her to come back and play professional basketball in England. And she's just proven that everyone's journey is different. And if you work hard and you're in the right environment for you, that you can make huge strides like she's done in just a year, let alone in her whole career.
Yeah, and then obviously a big part of it was the backcourt. We talked about it on broadcast. Taylor Murray and Leslie Vorpal, they've just really come in and really connected, and there's just no drop-off. It doesn't matter which one of them's in the game. When Taylor Murray missed the game, Leslie Vorpal stepped up, and vice versa. And that synergy in the point guard spot has been so vital.
I mean, between them, they have almost 10 assists a game, and that proves what they can do. But they can also score, and you're right, they just come in effortlessly and add to this team. But I love the fact that Murray and Vorpal can play off the ball as well. You saw Holly Winterburn was playing the point guard position whilst they were both on the wings. So the versatility and the ability to kind of move and shift players around on this roster makes them so dangerous.
Yeah, and we'll continue with that with the British contingent. You see some of them on your screen. Paige Robinson, Shaquila Joseph, Chantal Todd, London girls playing professional basketball in their city. And they've just been able to add so much depth to this roster. And normally on most teams they would start, but they're happy to accept the role coming off the bench and impact the game with energy.
You're exactly right on that. These are high-level British players that are coming in and have accepted their role to bigger the team, but to bigger the league in general. They've done a great job coming in, competing. I mean, being really efficient on the glass, because like you said, they're not the star role anymore, so they get less touches. But what they're doing with the ball when they do get it is all but great things.
And we are finally ready for the league championship. BBL CEO Aaron Radin will present as we welcome the London Lions one by one for their league championship medals. The third of the season. BBL Cup won in January, BBL Trophy won in March, the league in April, and then obviously looking for the final piece with the playoff final. Katerina Cincina first up to get it, and what a season she's had. That Euro Cup experience has been vital, and the three-point shooting.
Incredible, like you said, almost 42% from three in the WBBL, and the fifth FIBA Euro Cup all-time leading scorer. I mean, to have a woman of that kind of caliber and experience of playing the game at a high level, the Lions are really lucky to have her, and what a great addition to what they want to do here.
Indeed, and we talked about the point guard, so we'll talk about the play you highlighted in the pre-game. Ty Battle, what an impact she's made in her rookie season.
Absolutely, and she stepped up, especially with Kiki Harrigan out, as we keep talking about, because she was such an impactful player on this team. Ty Battle knows her game, knows her role, and executes it beautifully. Extremely efficient, she has a knack for the ball, a knack for the game, and knows where to be at the right time.
Indeed, and now the coaching staff coming up to get their medals, led by head coach Stella Katsadou, David Lavinia, Jacob Lloyd, Gary Maitland, and Lauren Milligan. Did I say that right? Gary Maitland, Lauren Milligan.
Yes.
Just to make sure I got that right. And then obviously the support staff as well. Duncan in S&C has done a terrific job helping the ladies through all year. And then obviously the backroom staff as well. Rura Physio also managed to do that while playing for Brent Bulls this season, remarkably. And then Nicole Lavinia, who finished the season as team manager, taking over from Megan Schreck. So really big, important roster. But we will now welcome Shanice Beckford-Norton, who will come lift the WBBL League Championship. She poses for some photos and will now head over as the team get ready. And this better be perfect, Kyla. They've done it twice. BBL Cup, BBL Trophy, and now your London Lions are WBBL League champions, hoisted by Captain Shanice Beckford-Norton as the sparklers go off. And so well deserved.
Winning doesn't get old, right? It makes you hungrier to win more. So this feeling after winning is just going to make them want to play even harder to win the playoff championship.
Indeed, and as you can see, the team ecstatic, posing for photos. And we will get one final interview, and the person we deliberately left off talking about that needs no introduction, Azania Stewart, will head down to get her thoughts. Obviously, Azania Stewart in her final season will retire hopefully in 2 weeks' time. Azania Stewart in this season, 6.5 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, just under 1 block, and then shooting 50% from the floor. As you can see, the Lions there on your screen celebrating for the photos as they add that to the collection. A reminder of the final score here from the Crystal Palace Sports Centre. It was the London Lions 86, Newcastle Eagles 37, and Lions will advance to the semi-final as they'll play the Sevenoaks Suns next weekend here at the National Sports Centre, as we just wait for Azania to make her way over to catch up with Kyla Nelson and their post-game thoughts. Azania with confetti in the hair, and as you can see, her making her way over now. But Azania in that final season will look to go out with a bang, and no doubt she'll be able to summarise this season better than I will. So I will hand down to Kyla, and she has Azania with her now.
And now, the semi-finals. We're ready for this one? After the score, we want day in and day out, on the court. Everyone puts in the work and it keeps me fun.
Okay, I'm here with Queen Z, the woman who does it all after commentating and now winning the league championship and winning your playoffs. Tell me about this season. It's been difficult juggling the WBBL and Euro Cup, but how does it feel to win the league?
Yeah, I think it's one of our goals, and it was so important that we got it done. And you know, like you said, there's been so much ups and downs, adversity. I've been so proud of us, and it was important that we collect another trophy. But shout out to Newcastle for both franchises making the quarterfinals. But it was all about us. I felt like we played really 40 minutes solid basketball.
And like you said, you've had a lot of adversity, coaches changes, roster changes, everything. So kind of tell me how that next man up or next woman up mentality is, and your culture and depth of and balance of the team.
Yeah, and I think that's it, right? We know we go deep. We have a 10-man, maybe 11-man roster, and that's like a luxury. I always call that a luxury. And teams will give us their best, but they can't hang with us because we do have that depth. It is such a nice thing. Everyone does their job. Everyone plays their role perfectly, and fantastic. I'm really happy with that first win, and we're on to the semi-final.
And I know you love talking about the team, but let's talk about you for a second. Your last few games after re-retiring, right? How do you feel?
Yeah, you know, I really wanted to lock in on these last 3 games, and I am getting ready to retire, and just being proud of myself. And I always put my team first, and that's who I am. But you're right, I have to really take these moments in and enjoy them, and just, you know, I'm doing it with like the best players, and with my coach, put me in good position, and I'm just really happy, but I'm tired. So I'm ready for a vacation, that's what it is.
Well, you need a rest because you'll be right back here next week at Crystal Palace against Sevenoaks Suns. How are you feeling about that matchup?
Sevenoaks Suns, wow, a great team. They're well coached. We go back and forth at it. We'll get some rest and start our scout, as we got a whole week to prep for them, or less than a week. But it'll be a good game, and I'm excited. But it's back here, and it's home court advantage, so we'll take advantage of that.
We'll see you Sunday for your semi-final. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, darling.
And there are the thoughts of Azania Stewart. As Kyla said, 2 more games hopefully left in the WBBL and Azania's storied career. But that will do it here from the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. Final score in this WBBL playoff quarterfinal: London Lions 86, Newcastle 37. They will advance to play the Sevenoaks Suns next week. The other semi-final, Caledonia versus Leicester. But from myself, Michael Hanson-Morris, Kyla Nelson, and the entire broadcast team here at the Crystal Palace Sports Centre, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next week for semi-final Sunday.
You could just blend in. Never take a single risk. Let opportunities pass you by. Or you can show up. Show people what makes you powerful. What brings you peace.